After tragedy strikes in Brussels, many people, including a few Americans, have been stranded due to closed airports. Many flights into and out of Brussels have been canceled, affecting at least 2,000 people, resulting in anxiety and uncertainty. We asked Cal State students if this will affect their spring break travel plans.
There are big rule changes coming to the NFL this year, and legendary A Tribe Called Quest member Five Dog has passed. All this and more on this edition of the OC News.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of OC News. I'm Ashley Pellegrini.
And I'm Erdavria Simpson. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students of the Communications Department at Cal State Fullerton. In world news, the focus is on the attack in Brussels, which claimed 31 lives and left over 270 people injured. 8 Americans are among the injured, and American students studying abroad were also in the vicinity of the attacks. 2 explosions occurred on Wednesday in the Brussels airport, and 1 hour later, another at a subway station in the capital, Belgium. All 3 suicide bombers have been identified after Najim Lacroix, the fugitive bomb maker from the Paris attacks, was named as a second airport attacker. The other 2 bombers were identified this morning as brothers Khalid and Ibrahim El-Barrou. A manhunt is underway for a third man pictured with Lacroix and Ibrahim El-Barrou at the airport and other members of the local ISIL network responsible for the attack. Belgium remains on high alert with the city's airport closed until at least Saturday. Belgian officials warned the danger isn't over. The country remains on its highest alert level possible, level 4. And cities in the UK and worldwide are also increasing security in the wake of the attacks. Los Angeles International Airport has increased security. LA Airport has increased security. Patrick Gannon, chief of LA Airport, has a lot in place. We have an interview with him where he says that they are prepared. There has been an outcry of support, and nations have united to take a stand against terrorism. Reflecting on the previous attacks and national acts of terrorism, the mayor of Paris flew to Belgium to show support with the mayor of Brussels and laid a wreath. The overall theme politicians have set out is standing in solidarity. Hillary Clinton stated how our NATO supporters were with us through 9/11, and it's time to stand with our allies in their time of need.
Now it's our turn to stand with Europe. We cherish the same values and face the same adversaries, so we must share the same determination.
President Obama released a statement concerning the attack, standing with Belgium, the people, providing full support to their country.
We share a commitment to freedom and security at home and around the world. And today, the people of the United States and Argentina stand with the Belgian people and express our extraordinary sorrow for the losses that they've experienced. We understand the pain they feel viscerally because our countries as well have known the scourge of terrorism. And we've seen our own citizens impacted by this kinds of senseless, vicious violence.
People have taken a moment of silence to pay respect to the victims, and vigils are occurring across the United States and the world to show support to Belgium.
A group of students from the Whittier Christian High School were at the Brussels airport when the back-to-back terrorist bombings occurred early Tuesday morning. The students were planning to go to Liberia to work with Ebola orphans. The airport is still currently on lockdown, but fortunately the students are in a Red Cross safe zone. We were able to get in contact via Skype with Tari and Renee.
Thanks, guys. We have Bill Harvey, a teacher at Whittier Christian High School, who's been in contact with the students in Brussels. Bill, how are you doing today?
Fine, thank you.
Okay, Bill, how long did it take for the school to get in contact with the students in Brussels?
Well, I, believe it or not, am a secondary source. I was notified this morning that earlier in the day, the administration was immediately contacted about what taken place right after the incident. And so, as soon as that happened, they contacted me and said, "Look, the bilingual media crews will be on the tarmac out here. They'll be in the parking lot, and they'll say, 'Hey, we need somebody to help us communicating to the Spanish-speaking public.'" And so I am the bilingual resource here on campus, being the upper level Spanish instructor at the high school. The staff was notified immediately and told about the safety of the children and the group that was traveling. So I was notified, as I guess you would call it, as a secondary source. I was not the immediate contact person here.
Okay. And have you had any contact with the students in Brussels? Do you have any way of contacting them?
The school has made it very clear that the people of contact were to be extremely careful because of the danger involved. You can only imagine, once they discovered in the country of Belgium that throughout the country, and it seems like almost hourly, they're finding more and more evidence of a broader attack on the local citizens there, the innocent bystanders, that these travelers were in grave danger. And so, as a matter of fact, in lieu of waiting for the airport to reopen, they were in the terminal next to the terminal that was attacked. They immediately had to make the decision: how do we get out of here safely and cautiously, because of the danger involved. And so they actually found means to get out of the country to catch an airplane back on their ultimate destination, Liberia.
Okay, so the students are not in Brussels anymore. They're in Liberia, you said?
The Let's just say they're en route and they're protected, and their whereabouts is protected because of the size of the group. It's well, about a dozen people, and because of the nature of their trip and that destination, they literally are targets outside of this particular incident. This act of terrorism was not expected, obviously, and had little to do with what they were doing. But they always travel to Liberia with the fear of their ultimate destination being a dangerous target itself, and that is that part of Africa.
Yes. And has the students, have the staff and faculty at Whittier Christian High School have any contact with the parents? Have they done any consoling, any mentoring, anything they can do to reach out to the parents and console them in this time of tragedy?
Yeah, my understanding is they have. And moreover, I'm seated next to one of the students who's actually in contact with her friends who were traveling. And so one of the greatest means is to have a friend of a friend. And so these young people are able to communicate now, of course, electronically at a faster pace than I am, and keep in touch. And at the same time, protecting themselves, and at the same time in direct connection and by means of connecting with the appropriate authorities and the administration here and the parents and guardians involved.
Yeah, and may I ask her a few questions?
Absolutely. She seated her, and her name is Carolina.
Hello.
Hi, Carolina. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. First question would be, how quickly did you hear about the incident, and how quickly have you been able to contact your friends?
I heard about it on the news, and as soon as it happened, I immediately thought of my friends. So I texted them, and they responded that they were safe, that Red Cross was aiding them, and that they were okay.
Okay. And do you know by any chance how long it took for the Red Cross to provide food and refuge to these
You know,
students?
I don't know how long it took for Red Cross to get there, but to my understanding, it wasn't that long.
Okay. And what is the initial reaction that you see among students on campus? Are people worried? Have people brushed it off? Can you give us a kind of an understanding of this campus morale?
The students here are worried, but the good thing about being on a Christian campus is that we know that there is a God protecting them on their journey. So the only thing we can do about it is pray and just hope that and know that God is always going to be with them.
Good, good. And have you heard from the parents at all of the students? Are you close to the parents? Have you been able to contact them?
I haven't talked to any of the parents, but I do believe that there is a parent on the trip, a couple parents, I believe, on the trip.
And how often are you able to contact the students over there?
Because of the time change, it's or the time difference, it's difficult to be in contact with them a lot. But every so often, she's texting me and I'm texting her back and making sure that they're all okay.
Awesome. Any updates or anything that we should know about?
Uh, there are not any huge updates, but their mission is almost there. Yeah, I don't.
Okay. Thank you, Bill and Carolina, for your time. We appreciate it, and we hope that everyone in Brussels is safe and en route to their destination.
So do
it.
we. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That's it for me. Back to you guys.
With the recent terrorist attack in Brussels, there are concerns for travelers going in and out of Europe. Here is Isla with the story.
In the wake of the terrorist attacks in Brussels, travelers are advised to avoid sporting events, tourist sites, and public transportation. The U.S. State Department has also issued a traveling warning to Americans traveling in and out of Europe. So how does this affect students traveling during spring break? Let's find out.
I would say that as a director of study abroad, we would have students exercise the same kind of caution that we would always recommend that they exercise, which is continue to use good judgment, monitor your surroundings, and monitor evolving situations. The U.S. Department of State issues the most up-to-date information, and that would be the best place to find out what you should do and where you should go.
Well, I want to travel, but considering what's going on in the news, it does affect that in relation to safety issues. But there's also it'll affect the cost of expenses. So I don't know. I still feel like I want to travel, so I'm kind of gonna wait until if there's any more updated news about it.
With the recent terrorist attacks occurring in the past couple of months, students are still continuing on with their travel plans for spring break and moving on. This is Isla Martinez reporting for OC News.
Find out what students and faculty have to say about the study abroad program after the multiple terror attacks in Europe.
I'm here on the campus of Cal State Fullerton, where there's a large study abroad program with over 17 countries to choose from, including a handful of European countries. Following the recent terrorist attacks in Brussels, both students and parents alike are concerned about traveling abroad. We reached out to the faculty advisors for the Spain and Italy programs, as well as the Maxwell Center for International Affairs. Unfortunately, they were unavailable for comment. So the future of the study abroad programs remains unclear, and the impact of these terrorist attacks is still yet to be seen. For OC News, I'm Joe Moreno.
Thanks, Joe. Get ready to enjoy a sunny spring break in SoCal.
And later, find out why you may want to cut back on that so-called heart-healthy wine.
Sweetheart, think about your future. Jeff over there did, and just look at him. He saved up, bought a house, he's got a beautiful wife, they even had a fancy pants destination wedding, and oh, they had a baby! Ah! Smart and handsome, ooh la la. Now, I've been saving these frames for pictures of my future grandbabies for years, and the shopping sprees on organic clothing and telephone cases is not helping you save for a family. Oh, gracious! Look at that! He's a model! Oh. I bet you he's putting all that money right into a 401k or his baby's college fund. And his teeth are so straight. See how good saving can look at feedthepig.org. Feed the pig.
With spring break just around the corner, the sun is deciding to come out.
I'm excited for spring break. Here's Lana with the weather forecast.
Thank you, guys. It looks like here in Orange County, the weather will stay warm, so all you students looking forward to spring break this weekend, you will have some great weather. Currently, let's take a look at our weather here in Fullerton. Currently, right now, we're at 81 with a low of 52 tonight, winds at 12 miles per hour, and humidity at 14%. Now let's take a look at our 5-day forecast for spring break. All right, for the 5-day, we're expected to stay between the low 80s and high 70s, with the exception of Monday at 70 degrees. It's expected to stay sunny all weekend and a 10% chance of rain on Sunday, a 20% chance of rain on Monday. That's all for Fullerton. Let's see what's happening around the rest of the country. Here's our national weather. On the West Coast, it's staying pretty warm, with Los Angeles staying in the mid-70s, but San Fran staying down at 64. You can see a cool front moving down from the Midwest on in. Down in South Texas, it's staying pretty warm down in this area here, and it's around the high 70s and low 80s. New Orleans is at 77, and the East Coast is also keeping pretty warm, with temperatures staying around the low 70s. We might be experiencing some beautiful spring break weather here, but it looks like in parts of Colorado they're seeing some snow. Denver's expected to see blizzard conditions on this coming Wednesday. The snow started falling Wednesday morning in the metro area, and they could see 6 to 10 inches by Wednesday night, with some areas getting 14 inches. Several schools have closed, and because of the snow, the State Transportation Department announced all vehicles on the interstates must have tire chains, snow tires, and four-wheel drive. And last but not least, spring break is around the corner, so don't forget to be safe and enjoy your spring break. That's all. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Lana.
Thanks, Lana.
Cal State Fullerton students are finding their balance at the health fair today on campus. Also, learn how to speak to your children about the terrors in the world.
Find out how new studies have shown wine doesn't have all the benefits you may have thought. Here's Riley Escoboza with your health update.
The CSUF annual health fair put on by the Health and Counseling Center took place today on the ECS lawn. The health fair was themed Find Your Balance and encouraged students to participate by offering free prizes, screenings, resources, and more. Some of the booths at the health fair focused on nutrition, the importance of sleep, and even advocated the legalization of marijuana. After a horrific event such as the most recent terrorism in Brussels or the attack in Paris, many parents are wondering how to explain to their children about the event and make them feel secure. According to CNN, it is important to limit media exposure for children between the ages of 5 and 11 due to the fact that children who are repeatedly exposed to graphic media images have more difficulty with anxiety than those who were exposed to it less. Reassurance is one of the most important things a parent can do for their child, according to the Department of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry at NYU. Chairman Glenn Sachs stated that the very first thought a child has after a tragic event is, "Am I safe, and are the people around me safe?" He stresses that a parent can reassure their child by letting them know they are doing everything in their power to keep them safe. Sachs also states that it is important for a parent to acknowledge their own fears, to better connect with their child, and to remain courageous to help set an example. Finally, professional counselor and parenting strategist Tricia Ferrara said that when it comes to speaking with teens about tragic events, the most important thing you can do is be open. Events like these sometimes defy language and are more than difficult to talk about. As a parent, all you can do is be there for your child, reassure them that everything will be okay, and continue to be brave. Could a glass of wine a day actually keep the doctor away? According to recent studies, the answer is no. It was once thought that a glass of wine or two a night would help protect you from heart disease, cancer, type 2 diabetes. But new information has been released in the Journal of Studies on Alcohol and Drugs that may have you cutting way back on your nightly glass of vino. The journal analyzed 87 studies done on moderate drinking and health benefits, and found that most of the studies were in fact based on what they call biased data. When they reran the test, they found that none of the sicker people who drank moderately had any health advantages over the true non-drinkers. So while that glass of wine may be tasty, unfortunately, it isn't helping your heart. Stay healthy, Orange County. Back to you.
Thank you, Riley. After the break, hip-hop fans continue to mourn Phife Dawg.
And MLB making its way to Cuba. Stay tuned for more.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Why is my son having trouble in school?
Finding lowest airfare to Istanbul.
No, I'm tired of fighting with my son over his homework.
Home, walk, restaurant. Need a review?
No. He's smart, but his mind wanders.
7 wonders of the world.
Why don't you understand me?
I do. I was trying to show how Connor feels every day. Redirecting to understood.org.
Join parents and experts at understood.org, a free online resource about learning and attention issues to help your child thrive.
Hip-hop legend and rapper Phife Dawg of tribute called Quest died yesterday, and Universal Studios is raising their prices due to the highly anticipated Harry Potter world.
Here's Hope Martin with more.
It's a sad day for hip-hop group A Tribe Called Quest and hip-hop fans due to the death of their former group member Phife Dawg. Rapper Phife Dawg, whose real name was Malik Isaac Taylor, died Tuesday at the age of 45 due to diabetes. He was known for many of his unique rhymes such as Scenario, Bonita, Apple Bum, Can I Kick It, and others. The group was known and respected for their blending of genres of jazz into hip-hop and creating different sounds than the usual gangster rap fans were listening to during that time. Taylor, along with his group, influenced many rappers including Pharrell, Busta Rhymes, Big Sean, Talib Kweli, who tweeted, "Today is a dark day for hip-hop." He was a well-known rapper and will be remembered for his hip-hop passion and intellectual lyrics. Be prepared, Muggles. Universal Studios prices are increasing. The wizardly world of Harry Potter arrives at Universal Studios Hollywood on April 7th. Universal Studios, however, isn't holding on to the same low prices it has in the past. The ticket prices have increased by 20% over the weekend, although the attraction doesn't open until a few weeks. On low demand days, the tickets have increased from $75 to $90, and on high demand days, the daily ticket increased from $95 to $115. Universal Studios doesn't mind losing a few guests due to the increase in prices because they know they will still attract many Harry Potter fans. When the Harry Potter attraction opened at Universal Studios Orlando, attendance to the park increased by 10%, regardless of prices. The former governor of Alaska goes from government to television. Sarah Palin is ready for her own reality show. She has signed to make a pilot for a reality courtroom TV show. The pilot is going to be used to help a production buyer air the show 5 days a week, starting in the fall of 2017. Though she has no legal training in the courtroom or as a judge, spokesman Howard Bragman says she would be perfect for the position since she is so honest and not afraid to share her opinion. The show will be produced by Larry Little, who also produces courtroom shows Judge Judy and Judge Joe Brown. The Warner Brothers film Superman vs. Batman is just not superhero versus superhero, but also Warner Brothers against audiences. The premiere of Batman vs. Superman is said to have an early release date this Thursday, March 24th. Not only do many Batman fans, Superman fans have high expectations for the film, but so do the producers and studios. Initial critic reviews are very mixed for the movie. Batman vs. Superman has become the most important film to Warner Brothers because it will set the foundation for other DC films in the next 5 years. The film so far has sold $20 million in pre-sale tickets and is estimated to make $400 million at the domestic box office. But if it doesn't meet expectations, it could lose fans on the next DC films and lots of money. That's all for today in entertainment. Back to you.
NFL owners approved rule changes for 2016 season, and Major League Baseball made a historic move visit to Cuba.
Here is Miguel Moya with sports.
Hey everyone, it's time to catch up on this busy week in sports so far. After a 5-game win streak, the Cal State Fullerton baseball team has dropped their last 3 games, bringing their overall record to 11-9. Titans host rival Long Beach in a 3-game series starting Thursday. Long Beach has won 4 out of their last 5 games and has a 14-6 overall record coming into the series. Thursday's game starts at 6 p.m., Friday's game will be at 7 p.m., and Saturday's game will be at 1 p.m. It's time to talk football as NFL owners approved rule changes for the 2016 season. Some of those rules include the eliminating of chop blocks, an expansion of the horse collar rule to include the name area on the back of a jersey, and the permanent approval to keep extra points at the 15-yard mark. 2 more rules were approved for the 2016 season, one of which is the ejection of a player after he has committed 2 unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in 1 game, and the other rule is to move kickoffs to the 25-yard mark. Both of those rules are just set in place for the 2016 season and will be up for permanent approval after the season is over. Major League Baseball went to Cuba as the Tampa Bay Rays beat the Cuban national team 4-1. This was the first time Major League Baseball has been in Cuba since the Baltimore Orioles played the Cuban national team in 1999. President Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro were in attendance along with former Yankees shortstop Derek Jeter, Commissioner of Major League Baseball Rob Manfred, and Secretary of State John Kerry. This was more than just a regular baseball game. It was a chance to better relations between the United States and Cuba after 50 years of Cold War controversy. Whether relations get better after this game is still up in the air, but it's a step in the right direction. Yankees third baseman Alex Rodriguez is set to retire once his contract ends after the 2017 season. Rodriguez, who turns 41 in July, is coming to the end of his 10-year, $275 million contract and will have made more than $420 million in career salary by the end of 2017. That would make him the first American athlete to pass the $400 million mark. Rodriguez is chasing another career milestone as he currently has 687 home runs and is 28 away from passing Babe Ruth for 3rd all-time on the all-time home run list. Los Angeles Dodgers outfielder Andre Ethier is out 10 to 14 weeks after fouling a ball off his shin during Friday's spring training game, resulting in a fractured right tibia. Dodgers still have outfielders Carl Crawford, Yasiel Puig, Jock Peterson, and Scott Van Slyke to fill the void in Ethier's absence. Just a reminder that the baseball's regular season starts Sunday, April 3rd, with the St. Louis Cardinals traveling to Pittsburgh to take on the Pirates. That is only one of 3 games that day, followed by a full slate of games set for Monday. Los Angeles Lakers players Jordan Clarkson and Nick Young are facing controversy following a sexual harassment allegation that may have occurred Sunday night in Hollywood. Alexis Jones, an activist and public speaker, claims that Young and Clarkson made obscene gestures to her and her 68-year-old mother while waiting at a stoplight. Nick Young has since responded to the allegations on Twitter saying, "I really hate the fact that people can just say anything about a public figure and we as athletes just have to take it." Lakers officials have not punished the players at this time as they are currently looking into the allegations. USA Soccer kicks off World Cup qualifiers against Guatemala on Friday, March 25th at 7:06 p.m. This is an important game for the U.S., seeing as this continues their road to the 2018 FIFA World Cup. Well, that concludes our busy week in sports thus far. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Miguel. Don't forget to give your furry companion an extra hug today.
Today is National Puppy Day, and what melts your heart more than watching a bunch of puppies play? Take a look. That's all tonight. Join us on social media to tell us about important stories you would like to see covered on OC News.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all under the OC News CSUF handle. Join us back here Monday, April 4th at 5 p.m. for another live edition of OC News. Have an awesome rest of the week.